Welcome back to the O Hockey Show. I hope you're having a fantastic day out there. And I am talking about the NHL's Big City Greens Classic between the Capitals and the New York Rangers. The game itself ended 5-2. But that's not really what's most interesting about it. Most interesting about it is that it was in this cartoony world. So for a few months ago, I saw them talking about this idea of like an animated hockey game, and I was like, what? And then I saw it, and it was like the Big City Greens Classic, and I looked it up. It's a TV show on Disney, and I was like, okay. And they say it's going to be a live action game. Like, the game's actually going to be happening, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. And in my head, I figured that it was going to be the chips that they put on the back of the jerseys and in the puck, and they were going to somehow animate the game. And I was like, that's interesting. So it finally happened. It kind of is exactly what I thought it was going to be, and it was okay. I got to say, I enjoyed the game. I actually really liked it. I thought it was an interesting concept for a few reasons. So first off, the actual look of the game. I will say I think it was a little too, like, mobile game, like mobile hockey game on your phone kind of look to it. It was a little bit too much of that, but it was good enough because I gotta say, visually it was pretty good, especially for a child. For a child to watch this on Disney Channel, I can totally imagine my sister, who's not a child, but who doesn't like hockey really, she was like, I would watch this if I was to actually, I would watch, if this was what hockey was, I would watch it. And I could totally, I was watching and it was kind of enjoying it. I could totally see myself, who wasn't that into hockey, if I was 8 years old and that was on the TV screen. Like, I would definitely be, I don't want to say glued to the screen, but I would definitely be like, like, it's an actual game of hockey. And visually, it's kind of interesting. I mean, there's animals and stuff around. I would have liked there to be a little bit more movement in the crowd. There wasn't really any. But if the crowd could have been a little bit more alive, that would have been kind of nice. But the one thing, too, is the player movements. The actual players moving, it was a little janky. Like, when Patrick Kane did his, like, the actual move in real life, it was like a... He moved the puck around himself and try to cut to the middle, you know, a real Patrick Kane type play. In the like simulation of it in the cartoon, it looked a little bit janky, and a lot of the things that they did were a little bit weird, especially picking up the puck. But then like slap shotting the puck and making the moves that would say pow and bang like an old Batman cartoon or show, I guess. I liked it. It was it was fun to watch. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too annoying. Like, that's kind of weird. When they scored goals, when they would slap shot and the puck would go in the net past the goalie, it was fun to watch. When they would crash the net and all the players were there, it was which makes me remember, it was really funny. Back in the third, it was the third period. No, it was the end of the second, wasn't it? Where the whole Tom Wilson kind of scrum happened. All the players, when they were like fighting and all, you know, pushing and shoving each other in a crowd. It was really funny because the players on the cartoon wouldn't actually do anything. They would just stand there, all huddled up against each other, and that was really funny. Like, they weren't actually doing anything. The commentators were funny, which I gotta say, the commentators, Kevin Weeks and, it was Boucher, right? Yeah. No, it wasn't. I don't remember who it was. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it was. Maybe. Who knows? Whoever it was. Kevin Weeks and whoever it was. I think it was Boucher, but I don't know. They were good. I like that they picked them for it. Kevin Weeks' voice kind of does he does have the voice of like an educational video. So when he would do his, like, they would explain and break down like what icing is for a kid who wouldn't know. They say they would show a little diagram that was actually pretty helpful looking, I think, for people who would know what icing is and offsides and explaining like the stuff. He does have a nice voice and a good way to explain the things. I think if you picked someone, going the back, if you picked, like, Doc, you know, like, if you put Doc on there, wouldn't really work. I think Kevin Winks, he's got a nice voice, and I think he's got an educational speaker's kind of voice, so he really gets his point across nicely, unlike me, where I have to go on a tangent, kind of. So he had a nice voice, perfect guy to choose for that. But the commentators themselves, when they would cut to them, I'm assuming, and I'm pretty sure, that they were just wearing a motion capture suit. But when they went to Weeks and Boucher, it was weird how good they looked. They actually would move, and it was a perfect movement. It was strange. They did a good job of it, but it was weird to look at. They were blinking. I doubt the blinking was actually correct, but it was too good. It was kind of freaky how good it was. But that they interacted with like the characters of the show, it was fun. It was a fun thing to watch. I mean, I wouldn't watch it as every game ever, but to grow it for the kids, and which is the most important thing to talk about, it was pretty good. So, the NHL needs to start growing, and I'm going to make a whole video about this. It could be hour long, probably even more, about this eventually one day, for those of you that maybe one of you that actually would care about a thing like that, is that they need to grow the sport, right? That NHL needs to grow. So this is them trying to do that, right? Going with Disney and producing this interesting thing. And I think this is a genius thing, because to grow the sport, you need to go after the youth, right? You need to go after things become popular from teens and college students, like that age range, right? The next generation is where cool things like is what hip is what hit it huh, is they decide what is hip, right? The teens and college students. So, you need to go after them. But that's not what this is. This is the NHL trying to plant the younger kids, and I think this is genius. I didn't actually think about this before. This is planting it with kids. What if they need to produce more of these? They need to do at least one a week, I would say. If they can make it one game every night be a one of these types of games, and a kid every day he comes home, he likes to watch the screen, the puck move and whatever. I think they need to have a little bit more fun with the thing to make it a little bit more entertaining, because I could totally see myself or my future kids or someone's kids out there now to start watching it, like, especially on the screen, because it's simple, it's like a cat watching a laser. The kid, I could easily see just watching the screen, just the play, and then eventually one day they finally make the turn to watching a real hockey game or going to a real life game, from watching the cartoon to that. It's kind of like when you go to like a theme park as a kid, you can only ride the carousel, but then you finally get to go on like the medium roller coaster, but then you finally get to go on Space Mountain. You know what I mean? So that, I think that would be it's a genius move by the NHL if they could continue doing this. I don't know if every night they could do one, but they definitely have the technology to. I mean, all the players, they all wear the thing on their back and whatever. So I think they definitely could pull it off by doing it one a night. And then especially if like a certain team does it more often than others, it'd be a great idea for any team, especially for a team like the Sharks here, in a technology city of San Jose, the Silicon Valley there. They could invest in making it even more technological. They could produce more fans of themselves and be like a popular team going forward into the future. Just an idea there. Like a team like the Coyotes too. One of the biggest cities in the world, the Arizona Coyotes are in, the Phoenix. They could try to turn around their fan base and go after the children as well. And especially since if they're like the exciting team in Arizona, like it could be in Florida too, like make it a thing, and vacations or whatever. Like you could really grow your younger fan base early, and then the kids graduate from the fake stuff, go to the real things, and it not flashes, but just like when like a team scores the goal and they get like a whole celebration. Like maybe it's like Vegas setting and there's like lights on all the buildings and stuff, and it's like, whoa, the Capitals scored. So I think that'd be an interesting thing, and they need to do more of it. So that's really all I gotta say. All around positives for me. Things definitely can be worked on, but everything does, especially in their first trial. And yeah, so overall, I give it a thumbs up. I have really nothing that bad to say about it. So good idea, keep it going, and that's all I gotta say. So thank you for watching this. If you somehow enjoyed this video, please feel free to pick up your free subscription down below. We're at 131. We're on the road to 200, so help me get up there. Leave a like if you like this. Leave a dislike, I guess, if you didn't like it. Like I could care. Or go down below to the comment section and tell me how stupid I am, because this was actually really stupid, and we shouldn't be targeting kids, and hockey should be a guardian sport, and we should not allow, what that's not the right word, it's a gatekeeper sport, and we shouldn't allow anyone to get in if they aren't already in the know. But that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching this, and until next time, too sweet, have a fantastic day, and ta-ta for now.